Shalom, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News, broadcast to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories. Amid heightened tensions with Iran and its proxies, Israeli Defense Minister Yoav stresses continued preparations in order to be able to attack anywhere which Jerusalem deems necessary. U.S. Special Envoy Amos Hin visits Beirut, during the course of which he stresses his belief that a diplomatic resolution is achievable. U.S. President Joe Biden voices pessimism over prospects for a ceasefire arrangement in Gaza amid Iran's belligerent intentions. Israel continues to maintain a heightened state of alert and to prepare for anything that may take place. Following an extensive situation assessment at an IDF intelligence directorate base in northern Israel, from which the order was given to eliminate Hezbollah's chief of staff Fuad Shukr, also known as Said Mohsen, Defense Minister Yoav Gallant highlighted that the Israeli defense establishment was dealing with both removing threats and preparing for all contingencies in order to be able to attack anywhere Jerusalem deems necessary.
אני מסיים כעת ביקור באחד מבסיסי המודיעין בצפון הארץ. מכאן, מהמקום הזה, בוצע חיסול של מוחסן לפני כשבועיים-שלושה. האנשים פה עובדים בצורה רצינית מאוד, ועוסקים בהתכוננות לכל דבר שעלול לקרות. אנחנו עוסקים גם בהסרת האיומים, וגם בהכנת כל האפשרויות, על מנת להיות מסוגלים לתקוף בכל מקום שנחליט.
Jerusalem's top defense official went on to assert that Israel remains determined to achieve all of its war objectives, including vis-a-vis Hezbollah in Lebanon.
אנחנו נחושים לעמוד במשימה שלנו. אנחנו צריכים להחזיר את התושבים בביטחון לבתיהם, אחרי שנגרום לכך שחיזבאללה ייסוג מצפון לנהר הליטני. אני מודע למתיחות ולעומס הגדול שמוטל על אזרחי ישראל. אנחנו עוקבים אחרי המתרחש, גם בביירות, גם בטהרן, גם במקומות נוספים. בזכות האנשים שנמצאים כאן בבסיס הזה, ובמקומות רבים בכל רחבי הארץ, בים, ביבשה, באוויר, בזכותם אזרחי ישראל יכולים לקיים שגרת חיים, אבל להישאר בדריכות, בערנות, במוכנות, ולהישמע להוראות פיקוד העורף.
Meanwhile, in Beirut, U.S. Special Envoy Amos Hin arrived in the Lebanese capital this morning for a meeting with Lebanese Parliament Speaker Nabi Berri, a staunch ally of the Iranian proxy Hezbollah, in an attempt to alleviate prospects of an all-out regional conflagration. Following the meeting, which lasted for over an hour, the White House envoy stressed that he continued to believe that the diplomatic resolution is achievable because the Biden administration remains convinced that no one truly wants a full-scale war between Lebanon and Israel.
Speaker Berry and I also talked about the framework agreement that's on the table for a Gaza ceasefire, and he and I agreed there's no more time to waste, and there's no more valid excuses from any party for any further delay. The deal would also help enable a diplomatic resolution here in Lebanon, and that would prevent an outbreak of a wider war and create the conditions for the displaced Lebanese people to return to their homes in the south and the displaced Israeli residents to return to their homes in their north. Both should be able to do that with safety and security. We have to take advantage of this window for diplomatic action and diplomatic solutions.
Meanwhile, ahead of talks that are scheduled to take place in the Qatari capital of Doha tomorrow, State Department Deputy Spokesman Vedant Patel highlighted extensive efforts to push for a ceasefire in Gaza as part of a trilateral push by the United States, Qatar, and Egypt.
So look, this is something that we are working around the clock every day. You saw the statement that was put out trilaterally at the tail end of last week from President Biden, President Sisi, and the Emir of Qatar. So this is something that we think, for all the reasons I've talked about before, is just so vitally important to the region. first and foremost, it is time for the remaining hostages to be returned home, and that includes, of course, American citizens. It's also has the potential to bring about much needed relief to the people of Gaza, and so that's what's at the table, and that's what's at stake, and that's what we'll continue to work towards.
It is important to know that in spite of Qatar's pledge to pressure Hamas to send a delegation to the ceasefire talks, Ahmad al-Hadi, a senior Hamas official who is based in Lebanon, asserted that the Islamist Palestinian organization would not send representatives to the negotiations tomorrow in Qatar. A senior Mideastern official who is privy to the latest developments noted that while Hamas is under immense pressure to reach a ceasefire for Gaza, it will not assist Iran in escaping its pledge to strike at Israel severely for the targeted killing of the group's Politburo chief, Ismail Haniyeh, especially if it would mean dragging Israel into a potential all-out war. Meanwhile, in Washington, U.S. President Joe Biden said he expects it would be difficult to obtain a ceasefire under the current conditions. Moreover, President Biden also added that the issue depends solely on Iran.
We'll see what Iran does, and we'll see what happens if there's any attack. But I'm not giving up.
Are those two things tied together? Do you have the understanding that Iran could cease or stop doing an action if a ceasefire deal was possible?
That's my expectation, but we'll see. Thank you.
Meanwhile, the U.S. Department of Defense Pentagon Press Secretary Major General Pat Ryder reaffirmed Washington's commitment to Jerusalem, while stressing that the chief focus of the Biden administration is on de-escalating the situation.
So look, our focus is on de-escalating the situation. We have put these additional capabilities into the region to enable us, as I highlighted, to protect our forces, but also to support the defense of Israel should it be attacked. I'm not going to speculate or get into hypotheticals on when and if Iran launches an attack or one of their proxies launches an attack. Their public comments have been very clear, so we need to take those seriously. But our focus is on de-escalating tensions, working on enabling that ceasefire and getting these hostages returned home.
General Ryder went on to stress that he thinks that the United States is sending a clear message to Iran as it is deploying additional military assets into the region to ensure force protection for U.S. service members deployed throughout the CENTCOM area of responsibility to include the Greater Middle East and North Africa, in addition to the U.S. resolve to help Israel in its defense versus Iran and its belligerent proxies in Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, and Yemen.
It's important not to look at the individual parts, but look at what it is that we're trying to do here, which is deter a wider regional conflict, prevent a regional war in a very tense Middle East, with Iran threatening to retaliate and to use potentially overwhelming force. And we, again, have been very clear in our commitment to aid in the defense of Israel. No one wants to see escalation. No one wants to see a wider regional conflict. So, hopefully we don't find ourselves in a situation of having to employ those capabilities. But if we need to in the defense of Israel, we will.
Despite the fact that Iran has employed all of its proxies against Israel since October 8th of 2023, with thousands of rockets launched toward Israeli territory from Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Iran, and Yemen, the Pentagon is evidently under the impression that the conflict between Israel and Hamas has been contained to Gaza.
It's our assessment that the conflict between Israel and Hamas has been contained to Gaza. Certainly, that's not to say that there are not incredible tensions in the region. And that the situation right now in the Middle East is very serious, which is why we're taking it so seriously, which is why Secretary Austin has ordered additional capabilities into the region.
Meanwhile, in the Gaza Strip, the IDF continues to apply unceasing pressure on the Islamist Hamas and its terror affiliates.
בעזה, כוחות אוגדה 98 נלחמים במרחב ח'אן יונס. הם מבצעים פשיטות ממוקדות נוכח מודיעין חדש על פעילות טרור במרחב. מעל ומתחת לקרקע. אמש, במהלך הקרבות שמנהלת האוגדה במרחב, נפל חייל צה"ל, סמל עומר גינזבורג, זיכרונו לברכה. ליבנו עם משפחתו, ואנחנו מלווים אותה.
While fighting in the Gaza Strip rages on, Admiral Haggari stressed further that the IDF does not forget for a single moment the remaining 115 hostages that are being held captive in dire conditions by the internationally designated terror group, the Islamist Hamas. Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. It is important for us to highlight that TV7 Israel is a donation-based non-profit ministry with all of our productions available free of charge. Therefore, if you're blessed by our productions and would like to help support programs just like TV7 Israel News, Jerusalem Studio, Deep Dive, Editor's Note, and much more, we would deeply appreciate it if you'd consider making a donation. You can do so via our website at www.tv7israelnews.com. Separately, I'd like also to thank all of you who do support TV7 Israel, either on an intermittent basis or regular basis. Your support really helps us produce all of those productions on a regular basis. For me here in Jerusalem, I'd like to continue to encourage you, pray for the peace of Jerusalem and salvation of Israel. Wishing you an Erev Mevorach veBatuach, and God willing, we'll see you during our upcoming TV7 Israel updates. Until then, Shalom from Jerusalem.